So hello everyone, this is Golok Kumar Simli, CTO Passport Seva Program, Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India. Today I'm very thankful to Coeus Age and ETEK International Corporation for bringing me here to discuss about the cyber security 3.0, which is the need of the day. Today mostly we'll discuss about how exactly the government organization at large looking into the security paradigm, overall security framework at large. And I'll also say that while we discuss about the security, cyber security 3.0, we'll also focus typically on the three, four emerging things, whether it is a government sector or public sector at large. And when I say the three, four emerging trends, the first trend is what we are experiencing is switching off of your workload from on-prem data center to the cloud. And now government is working at a larger scale. Government is kind of a planning at a larger scale. How is that we leverage cloud maximum, especially the non-critical workload shifting into the cloud first. So typically, if I see the government side of it, there will be existence of both the on-prem plus kind of a cloud variants, and that's why mostly we see that we are taking a hybrid kind of a cloud approach. And if that is the case, how do you take care of the security at large, the data integrity at large, and also in terms of serving the customer, or I'll say masses at large, securely in this kind of a hybrid arrangement. The second important fact, which again we are experiencing, is it's no more kind of a 9 by 5 kind of a office, especially after the COVID-19 hit us. Mostly, if we see now, it is a kind of an environment where your corporate data center, your corporate applications, your corporate network, most of them has gone into a kind of a remote access WFH kind of an environment. And not only that, but it has also become, as I say, anytime, anywhere, from any device kind of access and authorization to your corporate data center, your corporate application, and your corporate network. The third trend, the third emerging trend, what we are also realizing is kind of it is no more kind of a data to compute, but now it is compute to data, meaning to say that how do we deliver services near to the users, near to the customer, and also kind of a how do we deliver services at the doorsteps of the citizen. Now, keeping these three, four trends into picture, typically, if I see on the security side, on the overall kind of a dealing with the security end to end, including your application, including your corporate network, including your workforce at large, and finally, citizen at large, masses at large, when you are interacting with you, when they are accessing and kind of leveraging government services. And typically what I find is and what we have done, especially in the Passport Seva program, when we are devising this kind of a security framework, the first and foremost principle what we have adopted is security must not be seen as a post facto audit. Security has to be by design. Security has to be intrinsic at each layer of the digital foundation you are creating. Security has to be intrinsic at each layer of the application you are writing. And security also has to be intrinsic, the kind of access and authorization you are kind of granting for that particular application, for that services. And while I say so, the another two very important kind of aspect to be taken care is one is how are you kind of a training your workforce, how are you skilling and reskilling your workforce, which is we are finding that most of our workforce, most of our employees, especially in the government sector, they required a kind of a complete reskilling in terms of uh, security awareness, in terms of security adoption, in terms of security adherence. So, how are you, kind of a training? How are you doing capacity building of your workforce at large? The second very important area, which again what we have done in Passport Seva program and what our experience is that how do you kind of create a digital ethics within the organization when you are dealing with your sovereign and sensitive data, when you are dealing with your kind of a workload, critical kind of a and sovereign kind of a data. How do you create a digital ethics and digital environment, not only for you as a organization at large, but also among your stakeholders. And as I said, when you are delivering the services to the citizens at large, how are citizens interacting with you? How comfortable when citizens interact with you, and how comfortable citizen feels that their personal data, personal information is secure enough when they are kind of sharing with any of these government organizations or ministries at large. Corporation, last thing I'll put in place is, the security has to be kind of a end-to-end. It has to be holistic. We cannot see security on a silo manner, on a disjoint manner. So when I say holistic, when I say end-to-end, meaning to say that right from your data layer to OS layer, to your host layer, to your network layer, to your perimeter layer, and then finally coming to your overall monitoring of your security and data and information when it comes to dealing with users on a 24/7 basis, on a 24/7 SOC environment. Why I am touching this point is mostly we find that especially on the government sector, they generally have NOC, Network Operation Center, but they do not have SOC, 24/7 Security Operation Center. So this is how the last thing I thought I'll put in. How do you adopt a security strategy? How do you design and build a security strategy? I touch upon saying that on the workforce part, but let me kind of a brief you on some other 2-3 very important aspects when you look into the security and data and information, what you are carrying or what we are trying to protect for. The first and foremost thing comes to my mind is now it is high time that we must have a data strategy. Meaning to say that I must understand my data first in terms of what is my fiduciary data, what is my configurable data, what is my public data, how is that I am capturing those data, how is that I am storing that data, how is that I am doing secondary use of that data, who is the principal owner of the data, who is the custodian of the data. So you don't have an overall data strategy to govern your data, or you don't have a data governance structure, or I typically tell saying that you don't have a data governance model, saying that how do you really deal with your data. We are collecting so much of citizens' data and others' data, But unless you have a holistic data strategy, unless you have a holistic data governance structure, it's very difficult, let me tell you, to define security around it, or to design a information security framework to protect that particular data and information which you are collecting or which you are storing. So that is the first very important thing I have to tell you, saying that you must have a data start. The second very important point when it comes to dealing with such kind of a sensitive and critical data, critical assets comes to our mind is, once you have a holistic data strategy, it is again high time that no, it's no more a government alone. And let me very clearly put here, saying that the Passport Seva program, we have realized that. And when I say that no more government alone, means now we have to take a innovative approach, saying that how do you bring in industry into the picture. We saying that uh, mostly, if you ask me, government at large, ministry at large, we should focus on policies, compliances, processes, your businesses at large. But when it comes to technology, security, defining your overall information security architecture, you have to devise kind of a new business model, bring in industry into the picture. And as I said, Passport Seva is one of the program where we have adapted and devised a business model where this kind of a requirement, this kind of a security challenges, we have devised a very good kind of a architecture, very good model in terms of dealing with data, in terms of dealing with information, in terms of dealing with your operations. And the beauty of this kind of a business model is you not only get that expertise, you not only get that kind of a up-to-date technology and other requirements from the industry, but it's all time to come. See, we need to understand that security is real time. It's zero day. We say it's no more kind of a post facto audit. So therefore, even if, let's say, we as government department at large do something or devise some security framework with all those tools and technologies, those tools and technologies is going to kind of become obsolete, outdated, and it requires a kind of, as I said, real time kind of a monitoring, real kind of tools and technology refreshment as and when it is required. And therefore the second very important fact comes to our mind is, let's do a industry participative route, public-private partnership route when it comes to building this kind of a security, holistic kind of a infrastructure, holistic kind of a security framework, which could be, as I said, real time, which could be sustainable, and which could be it's not for one day, it is for all time to come, right? So that is important thing. The third important thing which our learning says is, whatever we do, unless you bring in citizens at the focus, unless you bring in citizen at the center, and then you look forward, saying that how do I deal with my citizens? How do I deliver a next level of citizen experience at their doorsteps, near to the user? Let me give another example here. When we were kind of trying to reach to the remotest part of the country, there are many challenges when it comes to delivering the citizens at the remotest part of the country, not only in terms of performance, not only in terms of connectivity, but also in terms of how do you deliver the services securely. How do citizens feels that if I am interacting with the government department, my data is safe and secure. So this is the third very important thing, saying that how do you bring in citizen at the center and then start looking holistically when you are dealing with your data and information and delivering the service. Last thing I'll say again, Kapilji, the security is it's no more kind of a you and me alone. I'm meaning to say that it is not for the department, or it is not for the ministry alone, but it has to be seen holistically. When I say holistically and end-to-end means it is not within the organization alone, but among your stakeholders, among your beneficiaries and users and masses at large. And when you look this kind of a holistic approach towards security, delivering the services at the doorsteps, you will see that your defining of security, your complying with those regulations, compliances, acts, land of the law, you will have a different approach altogether, because most of the time we find that data and information security approach we adopt is a silo approach. It must not be a silo way of looking into the security. It has to be end-to-end in all sense, in terms of people, in terms of processes, in terms of tools and technology, and most importantly, what kind of workload, what kind of data you are dealing with. So that's how I put it, Kapil. I always say that while we go ahead with building this kind of a security information architecture, to my mind, I tell them 3A, automation, analytics, and AI, right? Now, when we are dealing with security, I think if you can go this or if you can leverage these three potential thing, the automation, analytics, and AI. Now let me take one by one. The automation part. Now just remember that journey we have traveled, those silo days, then from the silo days to the consolidation days, and now we are at a automation stage. Now when I say automation stage, the beauty of automation is all those kind of a black box, all those kind of a silos, all those kind of a opaqueness in terms of your processes, in terms of your policies, in terms of your users and stakeholders, and also to have a complete visibility and transparency in both sense. In both sense, I said, in terms of your process and business at large, and in the second part, in terms of your policies and compliance at large. See, the problem we do is, when I say building security and devising security, you don't have a holistic kind of a visibility, and that creates the major issue when it comes to dealing with security. And that's why the automation away, it helps absolutely like nothing, and that's what probably in Passport Seva program, in spite of so much of critical data we are dealing with, in spite of various stakeholders joining with us, in spite of not only my India operation, but including my global embassies and missions now connected to the same data center, same applications, we are able to deal with the security because of the kind of automation we could do. The second part is the analytics. Now, I always say that whatever data you have, how much kind of insights you get out of it, right? Now, if you have that kind of a analytics tools, if you have that kind of a advanced analytics, kind of a engine sitting on your entire kind of a business scenario, then probably you will be in a one step ahead, saying that what kind of data, what kind of information, what kind of next level of I'll say forecasting I am doing, or what kind of predictive and prospective kind of analysis I need to do, not only in terms of your business but also in terms of your defining data and information layers, right? So the analytics is again another very important component when it comes to building security. And the third very important component is the AI, that is the artificial intelligence, right? So as I said, today or tomorrow, and most of us, we are already leveraging AI at maximum, artificial intelligence at maximum. And I also foresee Kapilji saying that going down the line, there are 3-4 emerging technologies, whether it is AI, whether it is RPA, whether it is cloud. These are the emerging technologies which will help us maximum to strengthen our security end to end, to get a kind of a, as I said, predictive and kind of a prospective kind of a security analysis to do, and then accordingly you strengthen your defense mechanism in terms of. So that's how I'll do.